All right. Ready to dive deep into hypnotherapy today?
Absolutely. Should be interesting.
It's one of those things, a lot of people are curious about, but
Yeah.
not sure what's real and what's just Hollywood.
Exactly.
So we're going to try to separate fact from fiction today.
Sounds good.
Really get into what it can and cannot do, right?
Right.
We've got a great starting point, this article. Understanding hypnotherapy. Benefits, myths, and practical applications.
Okay.
Straight from a hypnotherapist website. So
Oh, interesting.
we're getting that insider perspective.
Yeah, that's always really valuable to hear from people who are actually
Right.
working with this every day.
Okay, so first things first. What even is hypnotherapy?
Yeah.
This article defines it as, this blend of deep relaxation and highly focused attention,
Okay.
all guided by, of course, a trained professional.
Right.
And it's about getting in touch with your subconscious, that part of your mind that's kind of running things behind the scenes.
It is fascinating, isn't it? It's like, think about when you get so lost in a movie.
Right.
You totally lose track of everything around you.
Right.
It's kind of tapping into a similar state, but with that therapeutic purpose.
So not mind control like we see in movies.
Not at all. You are totally aware and in control the whole time.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, a good way to think about it, I think, is like an iceberg.
Okay.
You see the tip of the iceberg, that's your conscious mind.
Right.
But underneath the surface, there's this massive part, that's the subconscious.
Okay.
And hypnotherapy is helping you access and work with that hidden depth.
That's a great analogy.
Me too.
I think a lot of the mystery around hypnotherapy honestly comes from these wild myths
Yeah, for sure.
that just won't quit.
Definitely.
But thankfully, this article debunks a few of the biggest ones.
Okay, good.
It tackles the idea that hypnosis is fake,
Right.
which is totally untrue. It's a recognized medical therapy, often used alongside, in conjunction with other treatments.
It is important to remember, though, that it's not a cure-all.
Right.
It can be really powerful, but it's not going to fix everything on its own.
Right. It's a tool.
Yeah, exactly.
It's part a whole approach.
Exactly.
Another myth that the article busts is this whole you're unconscious and forget everything thing.
Right.
You are actually totally present.
You are.
And you remember what happens.
It's more about shifting your focus and attention inwards, not about wiping your memory.
Gotcha.
You're actively taking part in it.
Yeah, which leads to another big one, the fear of losing control.
Oh, yeah.
Like you go under and then who knows what happens, right?
Right.
But the article emphasizes that hypnotherapy requires your willing participation.
Absolutely.
It's a collaboration between you and the therapist.
It is.
You're never forced to do anything you don't want to do.
And that's where the expertise of the hypnotherapist and their ethical practices are so important.
Right.
They are your guide.
Yeah.
Making sure you're safe and comfortable the entire time.
Yeah. And lastly, the article tackles this misconception that hypnosis is the same as being asleep.
Right.
Again, totally false.
Yeah, your mind is alert. And actively focused, like when you're really engrossed in a good book.
So like that deep concentration.
Exactly. You're not asleep. You're just accessing a different level of awareness. And this focused state lets you explore and maybe shift those subconscious patterns that could be contributing to whatever it is you're trying to work on.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So now that we've, cleared up some of those big myths, what can hypnotherapy actually help with?
Right.
The article breaks it down into two main areas. Mental health and physical health.
And it's interesting how many different applications there are within those categories.
Yeah.
So on the mental health side, it's been used for all sorts of things. From anxiety and phobias to managing stress, even things like helping people quit smoking.
That's a range. I'm particularly interested in how it helps anxiety.
Yeah.
Does it just calm those racing thoughts down or?
Sometimes, but it's often more than that.
Okay.
It can help you figure out and reframe the underlying thoughts or beliefs that are feeding the anxiety in the first place.
So it's not just putting a Band-Aid on the symptoms. It's getting at the root.
Exactly. And that can apply to other mental health issues, too.
Okay.
It's all about working with the subconscious to create lasting change.
And what about physical health applications?
Right.
The article mentioned things like pain management, IBS, even improving sleep. It almost sounds too good to be true.
Well, we do have to be realistic. It's not magic, but there's more and more evidence showing it can be really helpful for all sorts of physical conditions.
How does that